h2oGPTe is a platform that combines both predictive and generative AI. And so if we go out here, we can see on the predictive AI side, I can go out here and say, hey, let's start a new chat. I'm going to say, hey, I want an agent to go out there and train me a model. Go ahead and predict the MedV column on the Boston housing data set. Now what it's going to go do is it's going to start doing the agentic approach using function calling. These are the tools that are currently available to it. And as you can see here, it's got Google search, Bing search, that sort of thing. But it's going to go out there and start writing some Python code. Also going to be generating and referencing the sources, right? So this is kind of where it's getting that data from. It's going to be fault tolerant. So if it does run into issues, it's going to go ahead and go back and try to address those. So going even further, here's a completed example where I trained same prompts, got a pretty good result. I got that pickle file of the actual model itself. I have an image. I have any code that it actually wrote. In this case, we got a nice graphic. The downloadable files are all here. This is the code that it wrote. But then you can even go further, of course, for H2O. So we also have Driverless AI as a really advanced AutoML tool. I might give it a fraud data set and say, hey, go train a model to predict fraud. It's going to do the same thing, but of course, it's connected to H2O. It's connected to Driverless AI. So you're going to see kind of the results there, some nice performance graphics, but really at the end of the day, you're going to see a nice image of the workflow and the tasks that Driverless AI actually went out there and did for feature engineering in this case to make this model. Now, of course, in Driverless AI, you can go out there and look at the same sort of thing. So this is where you get to see a really rich distribution of features and how they look when you're doing training. And of course, they can be easily deployed within the model and done for drift detection here as well. Last but not least, if I go back here, say you deploy a model, you're really happy with it, you can actually ask H2oGPTe to write the code to score that model, right? So I'll just go all the way to the top. And so I said, hey, go write some code, score 100 rows. Here's where that model endpoint is. We provide the schema as part of the example curl request for the endpoint. So the agent is able to infer the schema and actually generate synthetic data automatically to score that model. And then, of course, you can start asking for, great, let's score another 5,000 rows. And as you're kind of collecting information and results here in the conversation history, of course, you can also go down and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and just build me an application, right? In this case, I asked for a Streamlit application to go out there and make this into UI. And of course, now I can go and say, download that file, Streamlit run, and this should pop up in my browser right here. And there you go. Now we've got a live application that's actually scoring this model with fake data, but it's a real model, and it was really generated. Thank you.